Good morning, everyone. Good day. I've got to be very honest with you. I had a very different visual for how I wanted this video to go. I was going to bring you along for a little workout in tennis this morning, like get a good start on the vlog for Hot Girl Winter chats and all that. And today was one of those days where I didn't want to turn the camera on, and my first instinct was to just scrap it and, you know, try again tomorrow. But I was like, you know what? This is a good showing of real life sometimes and our moods sometimes. And so I thought it would be wrong of me to not turn the camera on. But let me just tell you that this morning I woke up. You know those days where your alarm rings when you're in the peak of your deep, deep, dreamy sleep, and I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I did not want to rise this morning. And it was one of those mornings where I rolled over to Dan and I was like, "Babe, are we going?" And he's like, "Yes, we've already missed our workout 3 times this week. 3 times. The end of Landmas is just hitting us. We just needed to get it together. Surely we can't miss another day." I've already broken my don't miss 2 workouts in a row rule. So, you know, I was forced against my will to get up and go to the gym. So I did. I did a lighter day, didn't love it, was very angry at the gym. I hit my head on the cable machine and it sent me into a blind red rage. And then we went and had our tennis lesson. And I did feel a little bit cured after, but it's just one of those days where you're just angry for no reason. I woke up with a headache. I woke up grumpy, and it's just one of those days, and I have to continue on. We have to exist and press forth. So even though it's not the start that I wanted and it's not the jovial entrance that I wanted for this video, I'm gonna chat with you nonetheless because it's real life and sometimes we're just grumpy and we need to, you know, continue on. And I thought maybe if I film and turn the vlog camera on, the act of me chatting with you guys and knowing that you're gonna see this will put me in a better mood. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just finished my breakfast and my coffee, and I need to get out of my sweat, and let's start getting ready because I want to have a chat with you. Open some windows here. We've got our laundry piles on the ground. There's just lots going on over there because we are preparing the rooms for Christmas Day and our family's coming over. But before I do anything, I need to stretch because I did not stretch at the gym and I can just feel myself falling apart. But I've just walked into the room and I'm like, look, we didn't even make our bed this morning. But it was close because I washed the sheets yesterday, so the bed was kind of already newly made, you know? Also, I love that you can just see our dirty laundry in the back. This is very random, but like I've mentioned 1,000 times, we don't have a laundry basket, and there's this Johnson & Johnson 3-piece, 3-compartment laundry basket that I want. It's sold out globally. I signed up to all the wait lists, waiting for it to come back in stock. I feel like it's the one that I want. So someday when it comes back in stock, we will get it. Anyway, this is our little stretching corner. I've got Theragun, rollers, balls, a neck thing, this thing, yoga mat. I'm just gonna roll out a little bit here. Just roll out. Because this is my pain. This is the side that I don't often show you for our Hot Girl Winter chats, but anywho, my plan for this morning was to bring you along for a little vlog and do a little Hot Girl Winter check-in. But I thought that before we wrapped up Landmas, I would do another little vlog, just having a chat and updating you on a couple of little things and just bringing you along. And obviously that ended up turning into me having a very, very grumpy morning, and so I thought I'd just bring you along to get out of the grump. What are some things that we can do to get out of that grump? So obviously we've already done the first thing, which is go and do your workout. Go and move your body, which is always a beautiful thing. And then not forget to stretch, even if you don't want to stretch. Even just taking like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to just stretch. This is one of my favorite stretches, by the way. If you have tight hips, you do the figure 4 stretch, okay? But then you gotta attack the piriformis. So just like cross your legs over and then grab your ankles. And it just wiggles right into this like corner, this side, the corner of your glute that's really hard to reach. And I find for me, that's the part of my tightness and pain that really impacts my daily life. So just making sure to get a good little stretch in there. This isn't my full stretching routine, but sometimes I just don't have it in me to do the whole thing. But we at least tackled our hips and we did a little roll, so that's fine. Does frosted glass prevent you from getting your required sunlight? BRB, I'm gonna wash my face for a sec. It is one of those days where I think I'm gonna choose to do my makeup over my hair because I don't know if I have the energy or have it in me to do both, you know? It's not one of those days. So I did wash it yesterday though, so it is fresh. So something I like to do if I'm feeling a little bit lazy and I don't feel like actually like curling, straightening, or doing my hair is, this isn't gonna look cute, but I French braid my hair. I just realized I'm out of my hairspray. I need to add that in my list to pick up today. Living proof hairspray to buy, SOS. Okay, well, normally I would take my hairspray and give it a little spritz through this and leave your hair in a braid while you do your makeup. And then by the time you're done, it will have some little bit of a wave and it just looks a little bit more put together. So I'm gonna let my braid sit while we do our makeup and chat. What am I looking for? Eye drops, because my eyes are red and sad. Thank you forever for everyone who recommended the Lumify eye drops to me. They have really saved me in my red eye problems. I don't use them every day, I promise. I do use them sparingly, but for you, I'm gonna make myself feel a little fancy today. Now, listen, I don't need a study to tell me this, but I'm just telling you from personal experience that if you are having a bad day, if you make yourself feel fabulous and good on the outside, it will have an impact on how you feel on the inside. So even though I'm only doing half of myself, I'm gonna get myself half ready today. I know that once I put makeup on, I'm gonna feel 12,000 times better and more fabulous and ready to take on the day. And maybe I'll even be inspired to do my hair. But if we put a little bit of makeup on our face and cover up our oozing zits and breakouts, it just makes you feel like $1,000,000. So let's do that, shall we? What I wanted to do was have a chat about Hot Girl Winter and kind of give you guys an update and talk about some things. And to inspire myself, I went back and listened to some of my favorite episodes of the Huberman podcast. And let's start there, because I just have to say that I know this is the case for so many people, but in my health and wellness journey, I can't begin to express to you how much of a life-changing part the Huberman podcast has been in changing so many different areas and aspects of my life and just like shifting my perspective on so many different things. And I think what I'll do is list a few of my favorite episodes that I've listened to or the ones that I have found helpful in the description box down below, just in case some of you haven't heard of it or you haven't listened to any of the episodes. I'll just link a few of my favorites, but what I would also recommend is his podcasts are really, really long. Some of them are like 2 and 3 hours long, and it can seem a little bit overwhelming and daunting to sit through that. We have listened to a lot of them while we're driving. I will put my headphones in and listen to them while I'm cleaning, honestly. But also a top tip for really long episodes, if I'm watching it on YouTube, you can go into the settings and change the playback speed, and I'll listen to it at 1.25, or on Spotify I listen to it at 1.2. So it's not so fast that it turns the words into gibberish, but it just speeds it up a little bit, removes those kind of long pauses, and I feel like I can get my information faster and make the 2 hours a little bit shorter to listen to. So yeah, he's really like changed my perspective on so many different things. But I want to talk about that because one of the comments that I've seen floating around the like Hot Girl Winter series that we've been doing has been the fact that people assume that if you watch a video that you need to copy and paste that exactly into your life. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this seems so daunting. Like, I have kids, I have really long work hours. I don't feel like I can fit all this in. Like, how do you dedicate 2 and 3 hours to your fitness and wellness and lifestyle? And I absolutely understand. I acknowledge the fact that I don't have kids, and I also work for myself from home. So those are two huge things that allow me to kind of cater my routine as I see fit. I don't really have any dependents. My cat Meryl is hardly an excuse for me to not do my workout. So I absolutely recognize and admire those of you who are able to fit in all your goals while taking care of dependents and while having really demanding jobs. I think you are superhumans, and I applaud you for it. At the same time, I always do find those comments a little bit disheartening. I want to say it makes me a little bit sad, because sometimes it just goes to that whole conversation of the amount of women who are not able to have children and who might be struggling to have kids. Like, you never know what people are going through, and those comments sometimes hit me the wrong way, especially in the age where so many women are talking about not having kids. And I would just say to just be a little bit sensitive about the kids topic. Well, I absolutely respect mothers and motherhood, and I don't know how you do it. I don't have kids. I cannot relate to that phase of life. But first of all, Not everybody can have kids, and I don't think that we should diminish people's accomplishments and goals because of the fact that they have kids. I don't want my worth in life to be determined solely on the basis of whether or not I have children. So I don't want my accomplishments to be less because I don't have kids. I'm not going to celebrate myself less. I'm not going to embark on a fitness and wellness journey any less or any more if I do or don't have kids. Like, I still think that health and wellness and treating your body with love and activity and everything is something that no matter what our circumstances, whatever we're able to do, we should be doing, and we should be making it a priority. And I also want to acknowledge the fact that there are so many people who do have kids and who do have crazy work hours, and you know, there's other parts of their life that are sacrificed in order for them to achieve their goals. So, you know, they might not have as many late nights, they might not be socializing as much as usual, and kind of putting that focus onto their fitness and wellness routines. Like, it can be done. There are people who do it. There are superhumans. And the reason why I'm saying all this is because I think it's really important, whether or not you realize this or not, but the act of comparison will be the end of you. You can't look at anybody in your life, in your personal life or on the internet or on your screen, whatever. Everybody's circumstances are different. Everyone's routines are different. Everyone's children, family, personal lives, work lives, everybody is different. And it's so fun to have such a vast wealth of knowledge available to us. And I feel like with TikTok and YouTube and social media, we're getting so many different tips and tricks, and you should be doing this and you should be changing this. Like, it can be so overwhelming. Every time I open TikTok, I hear a different thing that I need to change. There's something else, whether or not I'm cooking my eggs wrong, or I'm composting wrong, or I'm lifting this weight wrong, or I need to be trying this, or I need to be doing that. Like, there's always going to be so much noise, and I think it's an amazing quality if you're able to take everything with a grain of salt. Watch what you want, ingest what you want, take in however much content you want, but don't feel like you have to copy and paste and take everything verbatim that is being fed to you online. You have to be in control of your own lifestyle and your own routines. And sometimes you can take a fun little tip and be like, oh, you know what? I didn't think of that. Sometimes someone might change your perspective on something and you can try to work that into your routine. But for the most part, when it comes to health and wellness, not everything is going to work for everybody. You have to just cater it to your own needs and your own wants and desires and goals and lifestyle and whatever works for you. And I've been seeing a lot of that being like, oh, she's an influencer, that's the only reason why she can get up this early. Or, oh, she's an influencer, that's the only reason why she can sleep in this late. Like, there's always going to be some reason or some excuse or something that might be going on with someone personally that they're projecting onto you. Like, it's just not everything is going to work for everybody, and not everything is made to fit for everybody. So for example, when I'm listening to the Huberman podcast, or when I see things of Huberman, like when he talks about the sunlight, I'm like, that's nice. That's nice that you can get outside every day and go and bask in the sunlight and get those photons into your eyeballs. The climate where I live, maybe that tip in particular doesn't work for me. Another thing I saw Huberman do was go on a multi-hour hike and just carrying rocks up a mountain. And I'm like, listen, I'm glad that works for you. That's super nice, but that does not work for me. I'm not about to go carry rocks up a mountain. I am happy for you. I'm happy for the people who hike. I'm happy for the people who go for runs. It's not for me. I make adjustments in my fitness routine for the things that I like to do, aka tennis. I hate running. I really do. I do love a good HIIT workout. I love a good sprint, but not for long. 20 minutes. I just need to take it in small doses, you know? There is no one size fits all everybody. So I think it's fabulous if you are inspired by somebody and someone inspires you to change and to do better, but to just not feel that overwhelm and that pressure to exactly copy and paste everything that you see. It's not for that. It's here to inspire and here to start conversation and maybe shift your perspective a little bit and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I do want to be a healthy, strong gal and try to live forever. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we're just here for a good time, not a long time. Whatever works for you, baby boo. By the way, instant effect, instant mood booster, covering up the zits and adding a bit of glow. I'm like, ah, I feel better already. The next point I felt really compelled to talk about is something that Dan and I talk about a lot. And give me a minute. It might take me a second to get there. It might be a roundabout discussion, but I promise we'll get there in the end. But something we discuss a lot as we listen to things like the Huberman podcast and we watch so many influencers and see so many studies and see so many headlines, like taking in all this information. Something that we like to acknowledge a lot is like, what percentage of my life is this going to impact? Like, how much is this huge change that I would need to make in my daily routine? How much is this going to impact my life and overall longevity? And I've been feeling that very strongly in regards to working working out while fasted, and also the timing of caffeine intake and like supplementation and whatnot. There's so many different avenues that we can kind of go on that topic. So let me try to kind of touch on each. So the whole like not eating before I work out, I was actually really happy because the last time I mentioned this, a lot of you kind of agreed with me or felt the same. Got a little confirmation there that I'm not alone, but something that is discussed a lot, especially in the female space and cycles and hormones and all that, is that you need to be eating before a workout. And I think that something that's really important to do in your own fitness life and your own wellness journey is acknowledging that trial and error is so important and personal preference is so important. So for me, even though every single day I open up TikTok and there's someone else yelling at me that I am destroying my hormones, I'm spiking my cortisol, and I'm ruining my body by not eating before I work out and ingesting caffeine before I work out, I feel like no matter what subject or what specific thing you are looking up, you're gonna find something. Like there's confirmation bias all over. You're always gonna have someone who agrees with you and someone who disagrees with you. So for me, every time I see someone comment on the fact that I eat after my workouts, I push my breakfast to later, and I'm kind of like dabbling in the area of intermittent fasting. I'm just trying it out. I think it's fun. It's always fun to do my own trial and error, and I like to see what works for me. But that comes from a long history. Like I played sports in high school and it was the same thing. Like I never ate before like a basketball game or a volleyball game. It would just make me feel really sick. And you know, sometimes I do. Sometimes I wake up and I just feel really, really hungry, and especially if I'm going to do a leg day or something. Sometimes I need food. I just kind of totally listen to my body and see what I'm feeling that day. But again, there's like so much pressure to just like put yourself in the box, being like, oh no, so-and-so said I have to eat before my workout, therefore I have to eat, even if you don't feel like it. Or if you're like me and when you go to do cardio, it makes you feel sick. Like honestly, I'd rather like crush my workout, have a great workout, be feeling like really hungry after and go home and eat my breakfast, rather than like feel nauseous and sick and not good while I'm doing my workout and then have a worse workout for it. So again, that's personal preference. There's no kind of law that says that you must do one way or the other. I think it's worthwhile to try both and see how you feel, see what makes you feel better. And this is also confirmation that I have gotten from my coach as well, because I also messaged him and I was like, hello, everyone's telling me I need to eat before my workout and I'm destroying my hormones, help, tell me. And he was like, well, how do you feel when you eat before your workout? Like you just have to take everything with a grain of salt and see how you feel. And going back to the whole percentage thing, like whenever I see people talking about like, oh, if you take this supplement, it's gonna make you live longer. And oh, if you do this, if you eat before your workout, you're gonna have X amount of improvement on your workout. And I'm like, what percentage? What amount? What amount is that gonna be benefiting me? If I take this supplement, if I eat before my workout, is it gonna improve my workout by 1%, 3%? 5%? Like what's the percentage here? If I don't start every morning with hot water and lemon, am I gonna die like 1 year earlier? Am I gonna die 2 years earlier? Like what's the difference here? Give me the percentage, because there's a lot of things, like you feel a lot of pressure to try a lot of things and implement all of these tips and tricks and hacks and change all these ways about your routine. And I'm like, I just would love to know how much this is gonna affect me, how much is this gonna impact me, and how much is this gonna change my state. So if someone tells me like, hey, if you take this supplement, you are going to sleep for 8 hours, no questions asked, every single night, I'd be like, perfect, sign me up, give me that supplement, let me guzzle it. I feel like I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here, which always happens when I'm trying to do one thing and have a chat at the same time. Basically, there is no one size fits all when it comes to health and wellness. You must do trial and error. It is up to your personal preference and your personal experience. And also you need to monitor your intake of information and see what works for you and your lifestyle. Nobody is the same. Everybody's lifestyles and routines are going to be different, and you just need to be in control and determine what is best for you. And if you really don't know, I would seek professional advice, because the information can be so conflicting, which is why I ultimately decided to go find a personal trainer and a coach through DIY Body, because I was feeling so lost. I feel like every time I opened TikTok, I was getting some differing information on what I should be doing with my workouts, what I should be doing with my diet, and I just felt overwhelmed. I really did. I needed someone to just like zone in on this for me. I am an easily overwhelmed person. I needed some direction. So that's where it was really helpful for me. And even me sitting here and being like, okay, here's the 7 things we're doing for hot girl winter. Like that's a really nice overarching general baseline of the things that we can do. And that's where Huberman has been so fabulous, because he's just like, here in general, based on studies, based on science and a general population, here's some things you can do to help in mobility and your health and longevity in your life. And that's the approach that I like, with all these little like daily hacks and things you have to do and things you have to swap out of your routine. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, what percentage of my life
life is this changing? Is it really impacting me that much? Is it really going to be beneficial for me to completely upheave my day? Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. And that's where trial and error, personal preference, personal experience is very important. So my dear people, the next time I talk about not eating before my workout and I'm drinking caffeine before I work out, please know I am hydrated and I feel good for it. You might not be the same, but for me, that is just the best thing that works for me to have optimal performance in my workout. I think I'm gonna leave my makeup there. I don't feel like doing mascara. I kind of just want to leave it au naturale. Now I need to get dressed. I don't know what I want to wear. But on that note of taking in information and completely switching up and flipping up your routines, I have to just say it. I have to say it because I got a lot of questions. Actually, I saw one person comment being like, this is so unrelatable. I miss it when you used to do ride and berries and F45. And I was like, that's so funny to me because this is, okay. One of the biggest impacts of hot girl winter and the new training style that I have embarked on this journey over the last year or however long it's been. As you guys know, I was a big class girly back in the day. I used to do berries, ride, F45, like all of these really high cardio, high intensity training style workouts. And you know, I would leave a ride class or leave a berries class absolutely drenched in sweat. And even still, if I do a berries class now, like I love to do them occasionally. I love the class atmosphere. I think the endorphins and basically like exercise therapy that it is, you feel so good after a class, but I feel really, really drained. Like my energy is depleted after a class like that. And something that has been a really big surprise to me and learning curve is how much of a difference my life has had, how much of my life has changed from switching to these low impact, low intensity training. So all these people being like, oh, you need to be a low intensity, low impact Pilates girly, like they're kind of not wrong. Something that I think is really present in the online space is overcomplicating things. And what I've learned about going to the gym is going to the gym and fitness can be very, very monotonous and very boring and very repetitive, but it's effective and it doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be hard. And there are so many times where I go to the gym and I don't even sweat anymore. And when I first started my training program, I was like, hold on, I'm not dripping in sweat. I must not be getting a good workout. Like I equated how tired and how much I sweat to how good of a workout I had, which was completely opposite and wrong. There are so many times where I just don't even sweat anymore. And I now understand why there were people who were able to go to the gym and just get changed for work and go to work straight from the gym, which back in the day, back in my old like high intensity class life, I couldn't comprehend. Also, I was like, I'm not getting enough cardio in. And now, as long as I'm getting my steps in and I'm doing my weight training, I'm good. I feel great. Obviously, I'm tossing tennis in there because I like to be more active. I like to be more mobile. But if we're talking about like a baseline, what humans should be doing, we should all be doing some form of weight training. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm jumping in here for a sec because one of my like Roman Empire things, one of the things that I can't stop thinking about is that image of a cross section of a thigh and how much your muscle mass depletes as you age. And I think about it all the time being like, the older we get, the more we should be focusing on this and building and maintaining muscle for everything, for your health and overall wellness and longevity. Like muscle is so important and your protein intake is so important. And these things are things that I now think about often, but I think it's a good thing. It's not like an obsessive, unhealthy thing. I actually think it's very healthy to be aware of our habits and what we're doing to our body, how we're treating our body. And yeah, back to the original point of that was that I did realize that high intensity was not the answer for me. I'm a very easily exhausted individual and super high intensity training is kind of not for me. I need a little bit more of that soft girly life. I need some low intensity. I like to go and do my weight training and I love to get my steps and that's perfect. And anything I do on top of that is great and lovely, but recovery is so important. Rest is so important. And I think a lot of us millennial age people were kind of taught as we grew up that like you needed to be dripping in sweat. You need this high intensity in order to be healthy, where I have found in this new life of mine that it's not the case. And I have had the most change and transformation in my body by kind of doing the least. Or it feels like I'm doing less. I feel like I can like perform better at lower intensity. Does that make sense? Like I'm not an athlete. I'm not training for battle, you know, like I don't need to be sprinting for hours on end and throwing at my hips and causing me pain and back pain and hip pain. And just like everything in my life was kind of improved as I switch to more low intensity and strength training life. So take with that what you will. Again, everyone is different. Some people love to just sprint and run and do all of the activity and sweat it all out, and that's amazing and beautiful, and I also enjoy it every now and again. But for my daily life and sticking to a training and doing my steps routine, low intensity is better for me. And you still get a very elevated heart rate. I'm still struggling when I'm lifting my weights, but it's just not the same. It's different. You're just like, I'm building muscle, instead of like, oh my God, I'm gonna faint. Anyway, I need to get dressed. We are dressed. Got the J. Crew sweater, some girlfriend jeans, belt, and my little fun, colorful Nike sneakers. Ready. Let's see how the hair turned out from the braid. Absolutely nothing perfect, but I do feel like it got a little bit smoother, a little bit more tamed, so that's fine. Pardon. It's lunchtime, my dear people. And continuing on from the meal prep video, just in case you missed it, and my sarcastic comment, adopting a healthier lifestyle and acknowledging and keeping track of what you're putting in your body does not have to mean that that's unhealthy, nor does it have to equal starvation. We really just can't eat better food and be aware of how much food we're eating, which is definitely something that I never used to pay any attention to, and my life has been better for it. And actually, while we're in the kitchen, speaking of what we're putting into our body, I also wanted to acknowledge how many people commented on our last chat and how interested you are in the discussion surrounding alcohol and the health and the unhealth of alcohol. And I wanted to include that. Just like, obviously it is a subject that needs a lot more attention and discussion for sure, but I wanted to include a little snippet in this video because I am going to link the podcast that I listened to from Andrew Huberman, because his discussion surrounding alcohol, like I feel like he has a few videos, but there was definitely one long podcast that I listened to last year that just really flipped a switch. It was one of those things where you listen to it, I heard what he said, and it completely changed my perspective instantaneously on alcohol and how I had been previously living my life and treating alcohol, really. But for the most part, just the idea that it is not good for you. As he says, his words, not mine, it is a poison. And I feel like in society as a whole, alcohol as a lifestyle is really, really fed to us and sold to us and marketed so intensely, and there are so many social things that can't be done or feels like it can't be done without it. There's so much social pressure when it comes to drinking that over the last year I've really been kind of reworking and relearning and rewiring my brain around alcohol as a whole, and I do recognize that there is a place for it and I do enjoy it in a celebratory sense, and sometimes you just want to have fun and let loose, and alcohol can be a beautiful thing for that. But for the most part, it's pretty much been removed from my daily life because I can't unhear all of the horrible things that Huberman said it's doing to my body. And when you hear that from a steady scientific baseline, biology baseline, I'm like, well, I kind of can ignore that now, and I do. It was a switch flip for me, and I did look at alcohol differently after listening to his podcast and taking in his information. So that was a huge catalyst for me in changing my lifestyle and my perspective around alcohol. So I'm just going to link a few of them below if you so care to listen and learn about it as well. And I think that Huberman has had that effect on a lot of people surrounding alcohol in their life. And then coming up to the holidays too, where normally I couldn't have fathomed going through like a Christmas holiday with my family without having drinks, and then last year I did. Like, I was like, oh, this is completely fine. I'm completely fine to have like a soda or a juice or just enjoy my coffee or have a tea. Like, it wasn't something that was required for me to have an enjoyable time. Whereas prior to that, I would have been like, oh, I need to be drinking to have fun. Now, this video didn't exactly go as I planned, as I've said, but thank you nonetheless for getting perky with me today. I had a rough morning. I had a weird morning, an off morning, and I do feel so much better now. And I had planned to be much more organized with this chat, but I still wanted to have a chat with you nonetheless, because I don't know, in case you didn't know, I feel so passionately about this. I feel like there's been very few things that I have felt so strongly about in my life, but this entire path of health and wellness and life, there's been so many changes in my life, and I feel so strongly about it, and I feel like so many people would benefit so much in their daily life, like literally just existing by adopting a few of these
I'm putting quotes because the title is a joke, but these hot girl winter principles, but just, yeah, I don't even know how to describe to you in words how much I have loved stepping into this health and wellness community and being a part of it, and seeing how many of you guys message me all the time, every day, seeing all the stories that you tag me in and sharing in this hot girl winter fun. It has been so much fun, and it's something that I feel like is having a very positive impact, where so much of what we do on social media and in the content creation space just revolves around stuff and things and and I feel like talking about our lifestyles and like health and wellness is just something that can be so positive and can apply to anybody, and just it's a space that just makes you feel so good. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being here and hearing me out and being a part of it. And I know that not everybody gives a flying tootie about the Hot Girl Winter series and the chats and health and wellness or anything, but I really appreciate those of you who do, because you're going to be seeing a lot more of it from me, especially going into the new year. So thank you for the love and for being involved, and please do let me know what you want to see. If there's any specifics that you want to see in the Hot Girl Winter series, and just in terms of that sector of content going forward, please let me know in the comments down below. I am so excited. I'm just like this on my computer every single time going into like New Year video planning. I just get so excited about it. Anyway, so with that being said, this is probably going to be a million years long video, but I'm glad, because I hope that only those of you who are interested in this content have stuck around to the end because this Landmas giveaway is a very, very special one for me. Again, I feel very passionate about this new realm we have stepped into in life. But today's giveaway, let's just start there, shall we? Today's giveaway is the Hot Girl Winter box, and this is a huge giveaway and I'm so excited about it, and it's just a few of the things that I feel like help me in my Hot Girl Winter journey and this new lifestyle, and I wanted to give it to one of you. So first of all, it is all in the wrapping and packaging, but we've got a lovely little gym bag. We've got a Lululemon duffel bag here for you to put all of your goods into. So the duffel bag is going in first. Hot girl winter means hot girl sleep, my friends. So I'm also putting the slip eye mask in there because sleep is king, as we've said. I also put the slip silk hair scrunchies. Oh my, the scrunchies in here because those are fabulous. I put a few other fun goodies that I've received and also seen kicking around, but I bought these. These are the wipe compressed towels. I thought that was fun because I do love a good body wipe, especially on days when I don't have time to shower. So that was a fun little thing that you can keep in your gym bag. Codally grape water spray, always. We've got the Necessaire body lotion. Got to stay hydrated in the body. I also included my favorite ritual supplements. I did the symbiotic and the hydrating one. My multivitamin order, I don't know why, is held up. You will also be getting my favorite multivitamins. That's going to be included in this. Just saying. I'm sorry, I ordered like a lifetime supply for myself and then also some for the giveaway. So there will also be the multivitamin in there. I'm sorry, it is stuck for whatever reason in the post. Then we've got a few other bits and goods. These lifting gloves, Lululemon lifting gloves. These are great to just help with the grip and the tearing. I get a lot of torn calluses and whatnot, so those are really awesome. We also included a headband. And then this is something I don't mention a lot, but when we go on our walks outside, I hate having things flopping around in my pockets. I would like to get a running vest actually, but I haven't got there yet. Anyway, we use this running belt. This is amazing. I put my phone, my car keys, whatever I need in here, and I just strap it around my belly. And when we are doing our park walks outside, this is strapped to me. This is like such a necessity for our hot girl winter walks. So a little running belt for you. In terms of recovery, this is a fabulous little gadget, and I simply had to get one for you guys. We got a TerraGun Mini because, unfortunately, listen, love you. These are international giveaways. The big TerraGun is just simply too big and too heavy for me to ship. So with love, I got you the TerraGun Mini, which is actually arguably better because it's much easier to carry around in your gym bag, but these are incredible for just blasting your muscles and helping with the soreness and recovery. So huge favorite there, and including that. Then, I don't think I've actually said this on YouTube yet, but through Dan, being a huge fan of Derek from More Plates, More Dates, you know, we've been using the Gorilla Mind supplements for years now, and it's obviously not something I talk about all the time, but starting the Hot Girl Winter series, I've been like tagging the things that I've used, and I absolutely died when I got a message from the Gorilla Mind team. I had a call with them, and they have officially set me up as, like, they call it a Gorilla Mind athlete, which I was like, Are you calling me an athlete? Like, okay, thank you so much. But I have my very own discount code. I've got a little affiliate code and link with Gorilla Mind. So obviously I picked you guys up our favorite supplements, which are, I mean, really, this is the one. This is my favorite. This is the Gorilla Mode base pre-workout formula, the white gummy bear flavor. This is incredible. I have this every single morning. And then this is a new flavor that they had that I was like, okay, I'll try this too. But this is their, like, this is the base. This is a little bit less caffeine, a little bit less intense. But for those of you who like a, you know, a wiry workout, this is their blackberry lemonade Gorilla Mode pre-workout. So I picked those up for you, and obviously I'm gonna link my discount code below. I also use the creatine, we use the Gorilla Sleep. Very excited for that and see where that journey goes in the new year. Love you, Gorilla Mind. And now we've got a very own discount code. Okay, so that's a lot in there already, but two more huge things for this giveaway. I simply couldn't do a Hawker Winter box without including some form of tracking for you, because obviously data is a beautiful thing and can be really motivating when you are starting on your health and wellness journey. So we did in fact pick up an Apple Watch to include in here. I've got my Apple Watch strapped to my ankle right now. LOL. And yes, this is a huge part of the giveaway. I'm so excited for one of you to get this. Hopefully whoever enters doesn't already have an Apple Watch, but if you do, you can give it to someone or just have a new one for yourself. But I am so excited to send this one of you Apple Watch going in. And then you guys, this is huge. And I have to say that I ask for those of you who are entering to win this giveaway to please only do so if you are so serious about this, because I really want this to go to someone who will commit to this and who will actually do it, because a very special final inclusion in the Hawker Winter giveaway box is actually going to be in partnership with DIY Body. We had a chat with the owner, Don. Don, we love you so much. And he has very graciously added to this giveaway a 4-week program to the winner. So for those of you who wanted to get a kickstart, wanted some extra help, wanted to have coaching, and just need that extra little push and support, you will be also winning a 4-week fitness and nutrition coaching plan from DIY Body. And I can't express to you how much DIY Body has changed both me and Dan's life. I truly wish I could give it to all of you, but the fact that Don and the DIY Body team were willing to make this a part of the giveaway, we are so grateful and thankful to them. And I'm so excited for one of you to be able to have access to that coaching and that program and support and information. And perhaps you will also feel what we have felt by doing the program. So the winner of the Hawker Winter Box will be getting a 4-week coaching program from DIY Body. And I say again, please only enter if you are going to commit to that, because it's one thing for me to ship out a box of goodies to one of you, and I'm so happy to do that, but this is also a very generous gift of time from the DIY Body team, and whoever your coach will be, they are also going to be providing their time and their coaching and their expertise. So please only enter if you are committed to doing that month of the coaching that is going to be with this box. So this is a huge giveaway, a giveaway that I feel so passionately and strongly about, and I'm so excited for one of you to get your hands on this one. So obviously the details on how to enter will be in the description box down below. And I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being on this Hawker Winter journey with me. It's been so much fun, and I am so excited to dive more deeply into it in 2024 and see where it takes us. So I hope you loved today's giveaway. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and chatting with me, and I will see you all tomorrow for a new Landmas video. Love you all. See you then. Bye!